so many weeks ago, Tottenham were top and the Gunners were bottom. Never happened before, but one's come down, the other's gone up to meet in the middle. And it looks to me as if both sides will be kind of vying for 6th, 7th, 8th positions in the Premier League this season. That's the kind of campaign it's going to be. Both teams, they need a win. Arsenal to continue this little run they're on, and to do it against their local rivals would give everyone a huge boost. But the same for Spurs, who have been struggling, haven't they, last few games? So, both teams do need it badly.
Did everyone get a bit overexcited at the beginning of the season? One, that Spurs were, this superstar side that were going to win the league, and two, that Arsenal were awful and Mikel Arteta couldn't win anything.
Well, it was a difficult start for Arsenal. I think maybe it was the manner of that performance, that defeat against Brentford, that rang the alarm bells, because they didn't go out and compete on the opening day, the opening night. So then you're thinking, what's going on behind the scenes? Is Arteta getting his message across? Obviously, the Manchester City game was really difficult. But Spurs beat City, and they did it by really getting tight, being aggressive, stopping the champions from playing. So there was a little bit of a difference between the two there. I don't think anybody thought that Spurs were going to be challenging for the title. But it was a good start for Nuno, and I think he needed one as a new manager. Coming from a side like Wolves, where not so much is expected, obviously. And now fans are back in the stadiums. If supporters don't like what a team is doing, they're going to let them know pretty quickly. So this could be a good barometer, the derby on Sunday, of how both sets of fans view their teams at the moment.
I'm glad you brought up the fans in the stadium, because Arsenal have made quite a few new signings. Do you feel that the occasion might just get to some of these youngsters?
Well, I mean, as far as Arsenal go, they're all used to the Premier League. Tomiyasu, a right back, has come in just for a couple of games, and he settled in pretty quickly, it seems to me. I think the younger lads, the likes of Saka and Smith Rowe and Odegaard, these boys are going to be fine. I think they've got the temperaments to cope with it. I think they'll respond to it, and it'll put an edge to the game. It should do that for any professional footballer, this kind of atmosphere, this kind of derby. For Spurs, Mike, they've got a couple of lads in the back four that haven't played at this level before, in Emerson Royal and Romero. So that might be a concern if indeed they play. Nuno's trying to build a new back four there. And funnily enough, it's the same at Arsenal, but he's got Ben White in the middle, and he seems to have settled on a back four as his first choice, and Ramsdale behind them. So he's looking for a little bit of consistency and continuity and understanding at the back, which is obviously what any team needs.
What about at the other end of the pitch? Let's get a striker's perspective on Harry Kane. Got that goal at last night. How much did he need that?
Any striker needs goals, I think, especially somebody like Kane, who he's very single-minded in terms of the amounts of goals he gets. He wants to vie for the Golden Boot every year. If he's not getting chances, he's not going to be happy. But he popped up a position there at Molineux, which he didn't do hardly at all against Chelsea, when he played on that strange position on the left, and he was going ever so deep like a left back at times. I'd be amazed if Nuno put him there for the derby. I'm sure he'll stick him in his favourite position and encourage him to stay higher up the pitch. But whenever Kane doesn't score for a couple of games, there's a big inquest. He's still going to do ever so well this season, I think. We had doubts when Jose Mourinho took over, and we wondered whether that would kind of just stymie his style and prevent him from getting so many chances. It didn't. It certainly didn't stop him from getting a lot of goals. And, I think that's going to be the same under any manager. He'll be successful.
Yeah, so Harry Kane got a goal last night. So did Alexander Lacazette. Do you see him getting a run out at the start on Sunday?
Well, he hasn't lately, has he? And they've got a couple of 1-0 wins without him. They've had Aubameyang through the middle, and Arteta's been playing Pepe and Smith Rowe, Saka, Odegaard. Tucked away his penalty nicely. It's a great option to have if he uses him off the bench. He's got that experience. He can change the shape of an attack, more of a holding striker who will use his physical presence, as opposed to Aubameyang, whose movement, whose pace causes problems. So, but for Arteta, he needs both at it this season, Mike. He really does. Aubameyang particularly, he had all his problems on and off the pitch last year. He needs to have a good season. Otherwise, all that creativity just behind can come to nothing. So there's a lot on Aubameyang's shoulders, I think, on Sunday and beyond.